Good evening, dear friends, and welcome to the International Fab Talks. Thank you for being a part of our journey, friends. And as usual, we are back again. We are being honored with the presence of a wonderful person, a person who has more than 5 decades in the pharma industry. It's not 5 years or 15 years, not 25 years also. It's like 5 decades, 50 years, 50 plus years now in the pharma industry. Join me, friends, to welcome our special celebrity and guest for today. He is Mr. Vivek Hattangadi. I repeat again, he is Mr. Vivek Hattangadi, joining us all the way from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India. A person filled with knowledge, large experience that he has had. He has a huge exposure to the world. And he's here with us to share that wisdom which he has gained through all the exposure and the varied experiences that he's had till date. So that would really be an interesting session to learn from a professional like him. Join me, friends, to welcome our guest. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session, dear.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for being here with us. I'd like to go ahead and share your profile in a brief way for our audience to get to know actually who you are, and then we start the session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, it's always a honor and pleasure, and of course, our responsibility to share the profile of our celebrity and guest. Join me, friends. As I earlier mentioned, we have somebody very special who has spent a large part of his life being a wonderful professional and inspiring people around him. He is Vivek Hattangadi, sir. I repeat again, he is Mr. Vivek Hattangadi, sir, and he is the chief mentor at Black Belt Brand Builders, formerly the Enablers. He's completed 50 years in the pharma industry. I repeated this the third time. I want all of you to learn something from here. See, when you're into a field and you have passion and you have commitment and perseverance, you will just go ahead very far and create beautiful memories and beautiful space for yourself and for other people as well. So precisely, it was 16th March, 1974. Many of you would not have been born at that time. To 16th March 2024, that is this year, and 16th March is already passed off, and so it is like 50 plus years. Sir has given his entire, what you can say, his energy to bring lots of changes within himself and the people around him in his profession. Let's get to know more and more about him now. 14 years of learning in sales and management. That's wonderful. 16 years in the pharma brand management and 20 years as a brandpreneur. We have heard of entrepreneur. Now here something is brandpreneur, and that is really nice. And his last assignment was with a transition as the head of sales and marketing of 2 divisions, that is cardiology and diabetology, that is the health sector, and CNS. He is also a guest faculty and has been an external examiner in Pharma B schools. Sir is a wonderful author as well. Not only he's a professional in the pharma field, he's also a wonderful author. That's really great, sir. That's very interesting. And he has authored 9 books, not 1 or 2 now. It is 9 books on pharma brand management and sales. And sir was the author of the first book exclusively for pharma brand managers. What's the 21st century pharma CEO? What the 21st century pharma CEO wants from the brand manager. I repeat that again. What the 21st century pharma CEO wants from the brand manager. Overcome the tough challenges in pharma branding. So that's so nice. Beyond pharma, 3 to 4 weeks, sir always focuses to give his energy, to give his time. Time is important, friends. Like today, sir has taken out time for us. We need to thank him for that. And so also takes out time 3 to 4 times a week, like every year. And that is for what? For voluntary service. Sir is connected to a wonderful school for the special children of God at Igatpuri, a school for differently abled kids. So giving 3 to 4 weeks or maybe almost a month of voluntary service for children in a year is really something great. We all should learn so much from sir. So sir is an author, a professional, a mentor, and above all, a humanitarian. I really like that. And if you talk to sir, you know, he's very connective and he's very communicative and he accepts things. He's not like what you say. You have this, the ego, like why should I connect first, or Why is it me first? So let's all join together and be a beautiful team. So I see that connection with sir. So any of you out there, you would like to have some more knowledge about the pharma industry, you could get connected with sir. You want to build your brand with regard to the pharma industry, or you need to get some coaching, you need to get some branding done. It could be something that you would relate very well, and you could connect to our celebrity and guest. He is Mr. Vivek Hattangadi. For me personally, I've met him, I've spoken to him, and I feel he's one great individual where you will feel very comfortable and very warm. Hello, sir, and welcome to the session. Thank you so much for being here today with us.
In fact, I would like to add one more thing to what you have said, that any students or greenhorn brand managers from the pharma industry, they're free to connect me anytime on my email ID, on my WhatsApp for any free mentorship. I don't charge the students. Yes, I need money and I get it from my corporates. But for students, I don't charge anything. For the greenhorns who want to come up in life, it's complimentary.
That's really great. As I told everyone, as I shared, that you are a humanitarian. That speaks volumes of all the work that you're doing till date. That's really very nice, and I mean, my dear friends, you have to take advantage of this. Take the opportunity. When opportunity comes in front of you, don't let it go. If at all you're really interested, please go ahead and connect with sir. We'll share sir's email and mobile number as well in the description. You could connect with sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being so kind and humble. Yes, sir. Dear sir, now I've shared just a little about you. We'd like to know more about you from you itself. How would you define yourself? Who is the real Vivek Hattangadi?
Oh, how do I define myself? Well, my industry friends, my industry colleagues sometimes refer to me as, or rather, many times they refer to me as professor or a doctor, but frankly, I am none of them. I would like to define myself. I'm something akin to a primary school teacher. Now, why do I call myself something similar to a primary school teacher? Because it's from the primary school teachers who nurture these kids. The primary school teacher builds the character of a student and paves the way for future growth and future professional success. And without a primary school teacher, I don't think we would have had people like Einstein or Ramana or Vikram Sarabhai. It is the uh, primary teachers who have groomed them and they have become great people. And especially, I will still remember Abdul Kalam Azad. He mentioned many times that how his primary school teacher had helped him to groom his career. So I would like to call myself as a primary school teacher rather than a professor. I'm not, because I'm not even qualified to be a professor. I'm just a simple graduate. And doctor, out of question.
That's very humble of you, sir. That's really very humble of you. Thank you for sharing your journey, and thank you for defining yourself in the most simple and, the most simple way I can say. You have you have not elaborated much about what you've achieved. You just put it in a very simple way. I'm just as equal or as a simple primary teacher. That's really nice. Showing the path, leading the path. Yes. I mean, the basics one
Yeah.
has to learn. Yes. Now, as you mentioned primary teacher, you mentioned something primary teacher connects with small kids, little kids. So we'll connect with your childhood as well now. How were you as a kid? Did you have these dreams with you? Like, I would want to become somebody connected with the pharma industry. I would want to be who I am today. Did you have all these beautiful thoughts when you were a little child, or that developed a little later?
Oh no. I landed up in the pharmaceutical industry by pure accident. My dream was to join the armed forces, but unfortunately, because of resistance from my family, I was the only son. I wasn't allowed to join the armed forces. Reluctantly, I did my science graduation. My heart was not really into studies. I was, I liked outdoor things a lot. And in fact, I flunked the exams once also. in inter-science, which is equivalent to class 13 of these days. I flunked and I had to repeat that year. And finally, somehow I got through, and then I landed up a job as a salesman with a distributor of a pharma company. This company was distributing cough drops from a very reputed pharmaceutical company, Warner Lambert, under the name Halls. They had just launched Halls cough drops as a competition to Vicks. And I used to go along with the salesperson of the distributor. He carried all the goods in a cycle rickshaw, and I used to accompany him. And almost for 20 kilometers a day, we used to walk. He on his cycle rickshaw, and I used to walk. And I learned a very hard way what happens if you do not study. But anyway, I enjoyed that. And somehow, sometime, I'll tell you the exact, sometime in September 1973, I was visiting a very important retailer in Mumbai, Bandra Medical Stores, when a person from another company, he was watching me very closely. I booked an order from the retailer. He wanted 1 bag of halls. I somehow pushed him 3 bags of halls. And that man, after I finished the call, he said, can we speak for a couple of minutes? And we went out and had a cup of tea. And I decided, I'm so and so. I represent a company called Chogule and Company Hind Private Limited. It's a pharmaceutical company. And I've seen you working. Would you like to join us as a medical rep? I told him, okay, I am ready to join, but first hear my background. I'm a science graduate, and that too not even with I would say just passed out with 37% marks. And if you're ready to accept me, then it's okay. I said, your percentage in college doesn't matter. But the job is not in Mumbai, it's in Bhopal. And I landed up in this company. And that's how I started my career in the pharmaceutical industry. But fortunately, by good luck, when I was calling on the doctors, that was somewhere in February or January end or maybe February beginning, a person from Carter Wallace met me. And we were working on a doctor, and he saw my call with the doctor. The medical representative of the company, Carter Wallace, he was Mr. Arthur Khanna, and along with his regional manager, Mr. W.R. Joshi. Then he said, after I finished the call, he said, let us have dinner together. And at dinner, Mr. Joshi said, Vivek, we have a vacancy for a medical rep at Ahmedabad. Are you ready to join? Once again, I've told you the same story. You are a multinational company. I know you are a startup in India. It's a multinational company. And this is my background. I have just 36.5% marks in BSc. Are you ready to take me? No problem. And this is how I landed up in Ahmedabad. And 16th March 1974, that was the day I say it really started my career. I was never cut out for sales. I wanted to join the armed forces, but fate brought me into the pharmaceutical industry.
That's wonderful, sir. That's wonderful. May I know how old you were at that time?
I was born in 1950, so I was around 22. And when I joined Carter Wallace, or rather, I would say I graduated in the year 1971 at the age of 21. But as I said, I should have graduated in 70, but I flunked 1 year. So it's 71. And then for about 2 years, I was, doing this job as a salesman for Halls. Then I joined the medical representative. So when I joined Carter Wallace, I was 24.
It's really nice, a beautiful journey. Now, sir, with regard to sales, how did you take this journey? Because according to, from my experience, that I've seen from very close quarters. Sales is not an easy job. I mean, you require a lot of tact, skill. I don't know what you require something. You have to be very tough. It's not easy. And you spent a lot of time with regard to sales. Now, can you just tell us what was that journey and how you, spent your time and made your career shine and bloom?
When I joined this career as a medical rep, I really didn't have any ambition. When I joined Carter Wallace, I really didn't have any personal career ambition. I just wanted to be a very, very effective medical rep. And as months passed on, people started recognizing me. During that time, we had a product called Divol, which was an antacid. And it was a beautiful antacid. And my competitors then were Digen from Boots and Gelusil MPS from Warner. And it was a tough, battle between three of us. In some places, Digen was always the number one, while in some markets, Divol was at number two, Gelusil was at number three. In some markets, Gelusil was at number two, and I was at number three. And I told my mother, I am enjoying the song. Maybe, Mummy, you didn't allow me to join the army, but now I'm fighting a war, and that's a marketing war. So, Mummy, today I'm at war with my competitors, Digen and Gelusil MPS. And I really, really enjoyed. And I worked as a medical representative for 6 years before my bosses thought enough is enough. You must take up some higher position. And that's how they promoted me. And I landed up in Pune as a district manager. That's how I came into the managerial cadre at the age of 30.
Brilliant. That's really wonderful. Brilliant. Brilliant. Now, so being in the pharma sector for more than 5 decades, what type of challenges you faced? I mean, what were the initial challenges and how did you overcome all of that and create your space here?
Oh, the most important challenge was in the doctor's chambers. My God, in my early days, converting a doctor, making him prescribe by brands was something which was not easy. Of course, in those days, there were not as many pharmaceutical companies in India as we see today. Maybe uh, for my brands, maybe a 5 to 6 competitors. That's all. Today, for every product, we have around 500 to 600 competitors. But the challenge was in the doctor's chamber because all the medical representatives who were competing with me, they are of extremely good quality. All of them were, I always felt, I wish I was like him. The way he communicates with the doctor, and I made efforts to be like them. I mimicked them. And that's how I could really compete with products like Digen and Gelusil MPS. Now, one very interesting incident I remember. And he was a doctor in interior town called Patan. Patan was once the capital of Gujarat. And the name of the doctor was V.D. Rao. And I found out through market survey that he probably prescribed around 100 bottles of Digen every month. But not a single bottle of Divol, not a single bottle of even Gelusil. And then one day I asked a retailer, Vivek, sir, why is this doctor not prescribing my brand? He said, Vivek, he will never prescribe a brand because the medical representative of Boots is a classmate of this Dr. V.D. Rao. And they're great chumps. So don't waste your time and energy with Dr. V.D. Rao. I heard him, and but I was very, very persistent. I kept on detailing about my Diavol or told him the benefits of Diavol. Until one day, when I went to that market once again, I found one of the the leading retailers. He had around 25 to 30 bottles of Diavol. I was surprised. The doctor से पूछा उसे क्या हो गया सडनली आप 25 बॉटल्स डायवॉल का रखा है यहाँ पर अरे आपको मालूम नहीं है वो जो मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव था बुड्स का he has migrated to Canada and the territory is now with a new medical rep of Boots. But I think your persistence for 2 years has paid off and doctor has started prescribing your brand. So you really don't know why a doctor prescribes a product and when will he when will he get converted to your brand? So it's not merely the promotional efforts from the brand management team. That's the time when I felt, yes, medical representatives are very, very, very important entities in pharmaceutical marketing. Yes, good brand management is necessary, but at the same time, implementation of the strategies is very, very important. And you have to get the strategies implemented only through medical reps. A brand manager cannot implement strategy. It has to be done through the medical representatives and particularly the first line managers to whom they report. So this is one big challenge I faced. Many times there was one doctor who did not prescribe my product because I could not speak Gujarati at that time. I told him one day upfront, Doctor, what happened? Is any problem with me? No, you are not prescribing my products. I asked him in Gujarati after about 2 years. He said, for the first time you are speaking to me in Gujarati, what happened? For all these 2 years, English में बक बक कर रहा था. Then I said, I'm not in Gujarati. I migrated here from Bombay. Okay. Then he became very, very pally with me. And he was one of my loyal supporters. So you really don't know what's really going on in the mind of a doctor when he prescribes your products and even when he doesn't prescribe your product. So this is one thing, a big challenge, finding out what goes in the doctor's mind when he prescribe a product or when he doesn't prescribe a product. This is one, if you are able to understand that, the job becomes easier. But understanding that is very, very, very difficult.
Yes, sir. I get to understand that now, and I was listening to it very interestingly. Yes. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. It has opened up our eyes too. Yes. Now, dear sir, you are in this space 20 plus years as a brandpreneur. What is this all about? Could you just share and elaborate everything about it?
Once again, I didn't get your question. Can you just repeat it?
You've spent 20 plus years with regard to brandpreneur. What is it?
Yeah. In the early part of the 21st century, when I was with this transnational company, I always felt that, right from I have been doing routine things and there isn't much what you call innovation in what I'm doing. And I was getting a little, what you call, a little burned up. And I said, no, this is not my cup of tea anymore. I want to do something which is totally different. And on that fateful day, I took a decision of starting my own, that is the enablers. And by enablers, we meant people who can enable other people to perform. We can enable other people to perform. And this name was given by one of a girl who is just like a daughter to me. She's now settled in the USA, and she suggested the name The Enablers. And that is how I started getting off as a brandpreneur. My God, the first 2 years were horrible. I was used to a very cushy job. On the first, a fat packet of salary used to come into your uh, bank account. And here I find that the first 2 months, almost zero. The first 2 years were full of struggle till I got, my first break was in a company called Medley Pharmaceuticals, where they took me as a trainer, and we had a long contract with them for about 4 years, and thus began my journey. Then I found that if I have to know to be known to the people, internet and all those things were just on the rise then. I must do something different. How can I be different? And how can I make my presence felt in the industry? I couldn't get any idea. Once I had a training program in Nepal. The company was Quest Pharmaceuticals, and there was a brand manager called Arpana Download. She, even after the training program was over, she kept on asking me questions through email. So, what is this? What is this? And many times I did not know the answers to the question. I had to go to the British Library to find the answers. I had to do some research. Not many things were available on the internet in those days. And somehow I could satisfy her. And then she said, "Sir, you write so well. Why don't you write a book?" Write a book? That thought had never struck me. But, sir, you write so well. I think if you write a book, people would like to read. And that student of mine, she coaxed me to write a book. And thus the first edition of What the Pharmacy You Want from the Brand Manager came into uh, existence. I have been, even today, my guides, my motivators have been my students rather than anybody else. And this book brought me a recognition in the pharma industry because for many years there was no other book in the pharmaceutical industry made specifically for brand managers. That's how life began as a brandpreneur. And unfortunately, after that, I could get a lot of assignments, including Bangladesh, including Tanzania, Kenya, Myanmar, Vietnam, Australia, and so on.
Yes, sir. That's really nice. Thank you very much. You're the chief mentor at B. Now, that B is Black Belt Brand Builders. Formerly, it was known as the Enablers. So that's why I see a big B over there. That's really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Just like Hanuman Lari's chest, big B is up and just.
Yes. That's really beautiful. And you are a busy B2 as well, because you have given 50 years, 50 plus years in this beautiful field, wanting to share your thoughts, expertise, and knowledge and spread your wings across, everywhere, to make people feel that, yes, if you need anything, if you need to build your brand, or if you need to build and get trained, you can get connected with me. That's really nice.
That's my passion, to build brands and build people.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. You have a wonderful aura around you, the positive energy that you have, the way you speak, you're very warm, gentle, genial. This is what we want people to be more, without having any ego. We've seen youngsters who've achieved nothing. They have a lot of ego, sir, the youngsters.
I don't have a ego for the simple reason there is nothing in me because I don't have a good academic background. But one thing which I have today, I'm really proud of that, the power of observation. My power of observation and keeping it in my memory, and that has really made me succeed. And my submission to all of the students, more than anything else, you need to be very, very, very observant of the things which are going around you. Make a mental note of that. I used to always carry a small pocket diary and made note of things like even the advertisements or the hoardings. They intrigued me, and I felt, oh, these are the things that can help the pharma industry. And today, pharma industry, unfortunately, I don't know, we are stuck up in the pharma world. We cannot think beyond pharma. But there are so many things outside the pharma which we can learn and which we can integrate in, not exactly plagiarism, but which we can borrow from the other industries into pharma branding and marketing.
Yes,
You
that's really
have to
nice.
be only observant. My submission to all of the students who are listening to me, who will be listening to me, don't lose your power of observation. That is one thing you should always strive for, the power of observation, and you will succeed.
Beautiful, sir. You're a keen observer. You're encouraging others also to be keen observers in their life, in your personal space, professional space. That's really nice. It's really good to be a keen observer. That's a big message for me and for everyone. Sir, now let's focus on your writing journey as an author. It's not one or two books that you've authored. You've authored 9 books. Now, how did this magic happen? After the first book, how did the next book and so on? How that went ahead?
The first book was, exclusively for brand managers. Then I felt there is nothing much for the field sales managers from an Indian author. So my second book was on field sales management, exclusively for first line managers, their roles, their responsibilities, and accountability. And that book was also a big success. In that book, in the first edition of mine, I did a wonderful thing. I mean, I did not do a wonderful thing. Many of my friends, they did a wonderful thing for me. I published their autobiographical sketches in this book. And these autobiographical sketches had a lot of impact on the young readers. Almost one third of the book was on the autobiographical sketches of 5 great leaders who, from the position of medical representatives, had become CEOs. It included Mr. C.M. Hattangadi, who rose as a medical representative in Pfizer to become the MD of Park Davis and later on with Piramal. Then it was Mr. Ganesh Naik, who started his representative career as a representative in Cadilla and rose to become the CEO of Zydus. So another 3 such people were there. And, people read this book, read the autobiographical sketches of these great people in the industry. And that book again was a great success. And then inspired me for the third book, fourth book, and so on.
That's wonderful.
The eighth book, My Mother Was a Big Liar. The name of the eighth book is My Mother Was a Big Liar. And that book is I would say, my autobiography.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
And why I call my mother a big liar. I remember those days, the 60s were very, very, very bad for India. We had to import food from the Western countries, especially the USA under PL law, 480 law. We used to import food grains and the kind of, the wheat they gave us today, even we won't feed it to the cattle. And we were forced to eat it as human beings. We also got some rice, but rice was hardly anything. So my mother told me one day, I think I have diabetes, and my doctors advised not to eat rice. And she ate those rotis, probably which you'll find only in Tihar jail today. So those kind of the rotis had to be prepared from that kind of meat. She sacrificed eating rice to offer it to me and my sister. And then it was much later I realized that she sacrificed rice so that I and my sister can have it. And she told us a big lie. So that is how the name, My Mother Was a Big Liar, has come.
Beautiful. So very interesting and very emotional too, So
Yeah, really.
yes, that's really nice. Excellent. And where God could not be present everywhere, and that is why He has created mothers across.
Beautiful statement, Andrea. Beautiful statement. Loved it.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. I hope that you get a chance to read that book. Is it available online too, sir?
Yeah, it's available on Amazon. It's available on Flipkart, and also available with the Pothi.com, the publisher.
So I would recommend everyone to please read that book, including me too, because because I really like this. The title itself is very catchy.
Yeah.
And you've shared already an incident in just now with us. There could be many more, and would definitely be very interesting to read.
And almost, in that book, there are 39 lessons for medical reps, for the first line managers, and even the brand managers. Small, small case studies, and people can learn a lot from these case studies.
That's great, sir. That's really nice. Now, sir, you are an author as well, but we all would love to know, who is your favorite author?
I have two favorite authors. One is Ken Blanchard. Ken Blanchard, or Kenneth Blanchard, he wrote a book, The 1 Minute Manager. And that 1 Minute Manager had a great influence on me in shaping up my career as a manager. Then he had another book, Situational Leadership. And these two books, after I read, I felt, yes, these are some of the great books which every manager should read, whatever be his position, whether the first line or whether he's the CEO. These are the two books written in very, very, very simple language. They're very thin books, hardly 75 to 80 pages. And another book which really transformed me from moving in from sales into marketing was Marketing Management by Philip Kotler. That was one book which I have read. It was a thick book, around maybe 700 pages. I was walking from my office to the railway station one day. And if you have been to Bombay, in those days, in the fort area, they used to sell second-hand books. As I was passing on, I was very fond of reading. I saw this book. Now, who is this Philip Kotler? And I was a little surprised. I picked up that book and browsed through it. I must buy it. And I paid around 5 or 7 rupees for that book, brought it home and started reading it. It had great influence on me. And I felt, yes, it's time to shift to pharma brand management. So these two authors, Ken Blanchard and Philip Kotler, and I never dreamt that one day Philip Kotler and me would be speaking on the same platform. When Philip Kotler wrote the book, H2H Marketing, through my associate, Pharma State Academy, on his 90th birthday, we launched this book in India. And along with the other authors, we shared that book. Later on, on 19th January, I had another occasion to speak along with Philip Kotler, Executive Summit. That was again on humanistic marketing. An executive summit on humanistic marketing, which along with Philip Kotler, then there were 3 other and around 7 to 8 speakers together were there. We spoke online for about, it was spread over 3 days. I never imagined that one day I would be speaking along with Philip Kotler. When I picked up that book way back in, I think it was in the early 80s. I was really overawed by his book, and by the grace of God, one day I shared 2 platforms with him.
That's wonderful, sir. And thanks for sharing that beautiful experience. That's really nice.
All granted to me by the Lord.
The Almighty. Yes. Dear sir, if at all you were given a chance to relocate to some other country, which country you would love to relocate to?
My God. First of all, I would not like to leave India. But given a choice, one country which I would like to relocate, not USA, not any of the European countries, not any of the South American countries, but our neighboring country, Bangladesh. Now you'll ask me why Bangladesh or the countries you have chosen. Well, I have been in touch with many pharma executives and pharma people from Bangladesh. And one thing which is very unique, they are great learners. They're great learners. They're very keen to learn. And, Bangladesh has passed through a very bad phase. It was, you had that big war in 1971 when they were liberated from the Pakistanis. They had a really bad time and they wanted to be self-respected countries. And this made them to be very good learners. And I find most of the people there, they're very lovable people. Second, I like the environment in Bangladesh, full of greenery. You have a big mangrove there, maybe the world's largest mangrove, lush green forests all along. And of course, one thing which I loved about Bangladesh is a special type of fish which they call as ilish. And that ilish is something which I love. And all these things make me feel, okay, if at all I have to relocate to another country, Bangladesh would be my country of choice. In fact, we believe in rebirth. And I would also pray to God, okay, let my next life be in Bangladesh.
That's really so nice. And I really agree with you. Bangladeshis are very lovable. I have a Bangladesh friend. Her name is Romana Ahmad. She's such a lovely soul. Very
Okay.
compassionate and very lovable. She'll never hurt you. She'll never even make you feel out of place in her presence. I really love that person. And I met her on this platform. And I've been in
Okay.
contact with her for around about 5 to 6 months. She's a beautiful soul.
Oh, I see. Good.
It's really nice.
And I
And I'm
tell you, the
happy.
way the Bangladesh pharmaceuticals has come up in the last, say, 10, 12 years, that is something amazing. I won't be surprised if in the next 15, 20 years, Bangladesh will be a leading pharmaceutical giant, maybe amongst the top 5, top 6. Today, they are already leaders in the garment industry. They can become leaders in the pharma industry. So you asked me a very interesting question, which is the country which you would like to relocate? I would say none other than Bangladesh.
Yes, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, sir. Thank you. Now, sir, you've been on this planet for quite a long time. I guess
75 years.
7+ decades. I think, yeah,
75 years.
75 years. Now, sir, what kind of change would you want to see on this earth? Where do you think we really need to bring a change?
I would see the entire thing in two worlds. One is the pharma world, and the other is the non-pharma world. In the pharma world, one change which I'd like to see is bringing back those grand days of clean pharmaceutical marketing, what we call as good marketing practices, where, today there's a what do you call it, nexus between the pharma industry, the doctors, the hospitals, and the sufferers are the poor patients. I would like to have that day come back when both the pharmaceutical industry and the doctors, they shake hands and really look after the patients. In the other world, outside the pharma industry, God has made earth without any boundaries. It's we, the humans, who have created those boundaries. Many kings, right from the days of Alexander to Hitler, they tried to conquer the world and they really made the mess of the entire world. I would like to see a day when the world would be truly without any boundary. Today, whatever wars are being fought are fought only because this land is mine and that land doesn't belong to you. And that is how the most of the war stuff. This is my religion, that is your religion. Now, who has created religion? God has not created religion. So I'd like to have a boundaryless world, a religion-free. I mean, you can follow anything free, but you should respect every religion. That is the kind of world I would like to see outside the firm.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that view on that beautiful question as to what change we'd love to see. Yes, we need to bond on a more humanistic way, or in a more, what do you say, with a lot of human values, respect every life. You know, when we die, we are all going in the same mud.
Yeah. And how
We are
much
not being
land does a man need? As to say,
safe.
6 feet, 6 feet by 2 feet. That's all.
So let's be more considerate, more lovable, and accept everyone without war, without crime, without hatred. That's really nice. Now, sir, what about your love for human beings? I've just seen now the way you shared what you've just shared now, that it should be a limitless connection with the world. There shouldn't be any boundaries. That's really nice. I could see that there's a lot of love for human beings in your heart. What about pets? Do you even love pets too?
Oh, that's my greatest weakness. In fact, the children surrounding my locality, they call me as the Pied Piper of dogs.
Oh, great.
That's because the moment I step out of the house, the dogs, they follow me and I offer them food. And I go to a garden called Parimal Garden, which is about 2 kilometers from my house. This park is today maintained by Torrent Pharma. Now they have built an enclosure within that park only for the dogs. And in the mornings, you'll find many pet owners, they come to that park. And the moment they see me, they really jump on me with joy. I like to cuddle them. They come to me. And one thing which I learned, well, pets, not necessarily dogs, but even cows, the calves, the monkeys, you love them. And when they reciprocate the love, your oxytocin levels, they rise. And when your oxytocin levels, they rise, oxytocin is also known as the love hormone. And that makes you feel happy. So after I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, from 6 to 7:30, I make sure that I walk around 6 kilometers, and half an hour I spend with these unfortunate children of God. And they really love me. People ask, तुमको काटता नहीं क्या? काटेगा तो नहीं, मेरे को तो कभी नहीं काटता है, because I can understand the body language. If I find that a dog is ferocious, I'll never go to him. But hardly any such dogs. See them with love, and they will also see you with love. Because I don't know whether you know about it. We have both, all the mammals, and this was a very recent discovery. Both humans and animals, they have what is called as the mirror neurons, which are situated inside the cerebral cortex. When I smile at somebody, I'm activating the mirror neurons of the other person, and he smiles at me. Similarly, look at a dog, give him a smile, and his tail will start wagging. So these are present, and it has been scientifically proved that even animals and monkeys, most of the mammals, they have this mirror neurons. My God, you spend about half an hour with the stray animals, my God, you really love them. And of course, that has led me to fights with many people, especially within my own building. तुम उस कुत्ते को क्यों खिलाता है? हमारे कुत्ते आता है, बिल्डिंग गंदा करके रख जाता है. No, don't worry, I clean it now. Why are you worried? I personally clean it. But somehow, many people who don't love dogs, they also don't like me.
I understand that.
The children, my God, they call me the Pied Piper of dogs. I love
That's really very nice. Thank you for sharing that beautiful experience with dogs. And we wish that you continue this beautiful journey, giving your love to the pets And the stray dogs, it could also be, it could be pets or to animals, mouthless creature, voiceless creatures.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So now I'd like to know who has been the inspiration in your life till date. You're an inspiration to all of us. You've shared so much with us. You're a very simple human being, as you mentioned at the start, a simple primary teacher. You've given us the simple tips of life, how to go ahead, the basics. Now, we'd like to know who is your inspiration.
I have three mentors. My first mentor who encouraged me to join this industry was late Mr. Gurudas Masurkar. He was he lived in the neighboring vicinity, and he was the man who launched Crosin, and he was the sales promotion manager in a company which those days was called as Dufar Interfran. Earlier, it was known as Crooks Interfran, then it became Dufar Interfran, and he was the national sales manager over there. He was my big inspiration, and he encouraged me to join the pharmaceutical industry. Then, my inspiration in the brand management, marketing management, was Professor Chittamitra and Professor Tarun Gupta. They were both my mentors in my first job where I started as a brand manager, that is in Sun Pharma. And for almost 3 continuous years, they mentored me. And whatever I am today in pharma marketing, I can never forget these two gentlemen, Professor Tarun Gupta and Professor Chittamitra. And in fact, probably we've been doing every year we celebrate what is called as World Pharma Brand Managers Day. That is to remember these two stalwarts. Professor Chittamitra, he passed away in 2012 on 3rd January. And the first World Managers Day was commemorated on 3rd January 2017. And then a few years later, Professor Tarun Gupta also, he passed away. And today, every year in the first week of January, we commemorate them by having this World Pharma Brand Managers Week. And just let me share, in 2025, this event is going to be shared in 2 countries. The event will start in Bangladesh, then to Calcutta, the place to which Professor Chittamitra belonged, and then to Ahmedabad. The entire week we are going to spread across. My inspirations are really these 3 gentlemen.
Yes.
Every person should have a mentor. Every person should have a guru. And without a guru, you cannot really be successful.
Very true. Thank you. You are a wonderful mentor for all of us, and you're giving your credit to your mentors. That's really very nice. As you said, a guru or a mentor is really essential in our lives. That's really nice. So we've had a wonderful time with you, sir. We have a small segment called as the rapid fire round.
Sure.
It will just take another 10 minutes from you.
Sure.
Yeah, they will just take another 10 minutes from you, sir, now.
Oh, sure.
Yes, thank you. My dear friends, it's time now for the rapid fire round. It will just take another 10 minutes with our celebrity and guest. He is Mr. Vivek Hattangadi, joining us all the way from a beautiful city called as Ahmedabad, that is in Gujarat, India, a beautiful country. Sir, your favorite month among all the 12 months?
January.
Any specific reason?
Yeah. The month I was born.
Which day?
3rd January.
3rd January.
Unfortunately, the same day my mentor, he passed away. So I stopped celebrating my birthday ever since.
I understand.
I was born on the 3rd January 1950, and my mentor, he passed away on 3rd January 2012. From 2012, I don't really celebrate my birthday. But January again is the month when my mother was born. My mother was born on 8th January. And incidentally, even, I mentioned about a school in Igatpuri. The founder of that school, she was born on 8th January. And that makes January a very beautiful month for me.
Yes, yes, that's really nice. And if I may add to this, if at all your mentor passed away on 3rd Jan, I mean, you should really feel good about it because he's left this world with a lot of beautiful memories and he's gone to rest in peace. So you have to really start celebrating your birthday because we're all going to join him one fine day.
Yeah, of course, of course.
We all are going to leave this world and join, them such that we live in a happy way. Maybe he'll be very happy if you start celebrating your birthday and keep inspiring the world, spread a lot of joy and happiness. Yes. And to be relieved from this life is also a blessing.
Thank you.
I feel like that. That's my personal opinion. To be relieved from all the worldly, things that are around us and to pass away in a peaceful way, I feel that's really a blessing. And yes, we all have to go one fine day. And
Yeah,
when we
yeah,
leave,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
I don't know how many years are really left now.
Yeah, it could be anybody, sir. It could be just anyone. We never know what the next moment brings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes. आज हंसे तो हंस दिए, दूसरों को भी हंसाइए और खुद हंसिए. So, your favorite day of the week?
The favorite day of the week again happens to be Tuesday because I am a great worshipper of Lord Ganesh, and Tuesday is the people worship Lord Ganesh mostly on Tuesdays. Lord Ganesh, as you know, is the giver of wisdom, and therefore Tuesday happens to be my favorite day.
That's really nice. Your favorite number?
Favorite number is 3 because the numerological, my numerologist told me that 3 is your lucky number. So I believe that.
Yes. Your favorite breakfast? Your favorite breakfast?
Breakfast. Oh my God. You'll be surprised. My favorite breakfast is a combo breakfast. It's Gujarati methi na thepla. Sort of, bread made from methi and bajra and topped with egg omelette.
Oh, wonderful. That's something
It's a
unique.
combination of a non-veg and a real vegetarian this thing, thepla, bajra thepla. If any Gujarati hears me, he's going to kick me.
Yes, I understand that. I understand. But yes, it's individual preference, and that's really nice. That's wonderful. So, how would you describe a beautiful day just in one word?
My beautiful day is the day when I'm really relaxing. And it used to be a Sunday, but after COVID, Sunday has stopped to be my relaxing day. But I still enjoy and look forward to Sundays.
That's really nice. So, the next question coming up. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I'm an early bird because first, I wake up at 4 o'clock every day. Wherever I go, I make sure that I'm at least half an hour before time. My wife, she keeps on shouting, "Arey, your flight is at 6 o'clock, and what are you going to do at the airport at 3:30 a.m.?" But that's how I am, and I cannot change at 75.
I really like this attitude because I am too like that. I understand that. And I enjoy being. It's better to be early than to be late because I start panicking or getting anxious. So it's better to be early and relax. I mean, you're okay, everything is fine, then you can sit down and be in peace. I am the same. So I really like people who are like that. Wonderful. So till today, the best gift that you've ever received?
The best gift which I have ever received is from a student of mine, Divya Thakur. She's just like a daughter to me, and she gifted with me a golden bookmark. She gifted a golden bookmark with image of Devi Saraswati, the giver of knowledge. And that is one gift I love a lot, I cherish a lot. I had never met her before. We were very close online. She was a student of IHMR during the COVID days, and she was my intern Many people were doing internship under me. And one morning, I was in Bombay and she had a job in Bombay. She met me for dinner, for over lunch. And this gift which she gave, Divya Thakur, my God, I have not used it. I have kept it where my wife's ornaments are kept, in the locker in the bank. I
Wow.
don't want to lose it. I don't want to lose it.
Yes, I understand, sir. Yes, that's a beautiful gift. Now, towards the end of our session, sir, you have to share with us 3 beautiful gifts. You have to give us 3 gifts in the form of 3 beautiful words. Already you've empowered us right through the session, but towards the end, it's always our request to our celebrities and guests to share 3 empowering words with us for, to transform our mindset or to improve our thought process and to build a beautiful future.
First, I would say, be a perpetual learner. Learning doesn't end after you leave college. Learning starts when you enter the profession. And then once you enter the profession, you become a lifelong. Second, always be punctual, because punctuality brings in discipline. I somehow hate people who do not come on time. I don't mind somebody coming and waiting. I don't mind going and waiting for somebody for half an hour, but I am never late. And I can proudly say that I am never late. I remember one day, it was my sales manager when I was in Katwal, Mr. Manor Arora. That fateful day, it was raining very heavily, and I reached office about 20 minutes late. And you know what he said? Welcome, late Mr. Vivek Hattangadi. My God, it touched my, I should never be late. Welcome, late Vivek Hattangadi. From that day, I made it a point, no, I shall never be late. And third, always have integrity. Integrity means being honest when nobody is looking at you. Do the right things even when nobody is looking at you. If these 3 qualities are built, you can become a great person.
Thank you very much for these beautiful gifts, sir. Thank you very much. It really is very useful to each one of us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Be
you.
a learner, be punctual, and concentrate on, on improving yourself till the end.
Yeah, be a continuous learner.
Yes, and you also focused on integrity.
Integrity.
Yes, be a learner, be punctual, and have integrity. Then you will shine in the world. Yes, dear. Thank you very much, sir. Looking forward to many more interactions with you. I had a wonderful time.
I really enjoyed with you, Andrea.
Same here, sir. You shared a lot, and you're very warm, very honest, and very humble to share.
Maybe one day we'll meet in Hyderabad and we'll have good food together. We'll have, and found out that the Hyderabadi biryani, maybe we can share that Hyderabadi biryani in Hyderabad.
Very true. Very true. Definitely, sir.
In paradise. Paradise
definitely.
Is in paradise, yeah.
Definitely, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. Thank
you. Okay, Andrea. Bye. See you.
Thank you. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today, dear friends. We had a wonderful time and a learning experience with Sir's experiences and the wisdom that he has gained all through these years. Please do us a favor, share this video with the right kind of people. They may be very interested in getting to know all that was shared today here on this platform. And of course, if you like what the International Fab Talks is doing, my dear friends, stay connected with us, bond with us, like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And stay blessed, stay safe. Have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.